Okay, we're on chapter 56, which is called New Dialogue. We sit down to dinner and nobody's talking much, but it's a better kind of quiet than we sometimes have, like a golden kind of quiet because we know that Calvin is okay. But then Shaylin hears the gravel popping out front of the crumble down. She makes a dash for the window, wants to see if it is the UPS truck, but I'm thinking that he doesn't come this late. Shailene groans, nose against the glass. She says, "Oh, it's him again. Why doesn't he just pitch a tent in the yard? He's here morning, noon, and night anyway." I say, "Who?" Shailene says, "Lieutenant Baird." Well, there goes anything that was good about supper. Got food turning cruddy in my gut before I get to eat much of it. Grandma says, "Well, Shailene, he had good reason to be here last night and this morning. There was a missing boy." She is right, but I wonder what the lieutenant wants tonight. If it's not about Calvin and the root cellar, it will be about Benny, and I'm thinking how I don't have anything new in that notebook for him. Before he gets to the door, I say, let's make sure he sees that the root cellar is gone. Make him happy. Uncle Drum nods about that, but then he lets the lieutenant in, doesn't mention it. The lieutenant says he is sorry to arrive during our supper. Then he says he has been thinking of me all day. I believe him. He even looks like he is thinking now. Grandma and Uncle Drum and Shailene all stay at the table while he talks. He doesn't ask for the notebook. He says, "Mason, so much has happened in the last 24 hours, and after spending that time with you, I got an idea. I thought maybe we could start a new dialogue. I think I'm ready to talk about something new. Maybe there could be no interrupting." I say, "Fine with me." He says, "Did you ever go to the treehouse alone?" This does not sound like new dialogue. I scratch my head, wipe sweat. I say, "Yes, did that plenty, because, it is in the Buttle Orchard, so closer to my house. And there was other stuff going on, like Benny had a tutor 1 day a week. I can't remember which day, not anymore. And then there were some days he had, I don't know what, other stuff to do." I finish. I think it is pretty good how long the lieutenant let me talk. He nodded, is all. He says, "And you know how Benny fell down from that ladder, right?" I said, "Well, you told me, weak rung." He says, "I'm going to tell you something more of this puzzle, something that I know, and it might surprise you that I know it." I'm already having trouble, not sure what he means. Why would I be surprised? He says, "You tell me if this sounds familiar. Tell me if it sounds like something you remember." So now I listen, not just with my ears. I listen with everything I am, with all the blood that runs inside of me. He says Benny fell because somebody tampered with that top rung. I say, "Tampered? I don't know. I tried to build that ladder right." He says, No, it's not how you built the ladder, Mason. It was sound, a good ladder, until someone cut partway through the back of that rung. I say, "Wait, cut? You think somebody sawed on it?" He points a finger at me, like to say that I am right about that. He says, "And I don't just think it, I know it. We can see that it was cut, Mason, and that's what we need to know more about. Somebody could do something like that just thinking it was a joke, a prank, something silly." I say, "Wait, Lieutenant." Now my mouth can hardly make the words. I say, "You think somebody cut that on purpose so it would break? Was someone standing on it?" He nods a slow nod. He says the cut looks like it was made with a hand saw. I say, "Hand saw? Like mine? The one that has been missing?" The lieutenant stares a stare that says yes. The silence puts a pain in my ear, comes on so sudden. My breath is going all wrong. Dirt green is floating in. I say, "I remember you asked me where my saw was and if I threw it away somewhere in the orchard." He still stares. Yes. And then I think this. Threw it to hide it? So you wouldn't find it? The lieutenant says, Mason, I know how it is. Once something goes so terribly wrong, fear can make a person do things. You think it was me who did that? I gulp. Oh my God. There is so much green I cannot see the lieutenant. I say, you think I saw that wrong. You think I did the thing that killed Benny Kilmartin. So this is a really upsetting part of the story for Mason. He's just realizing that Lieutenant Baird thinks that he did it, maybe not on purpose, but that he is ultimately the one who saw the rung on the ladder and that caused Benny to fall, that ultimately led to why he died.